counting or not counting gang violence? Great.
Charlie inspired millions, and tonight, all who knew him and loved him are united in shock and horror.
Charlie Kirk, a prominent conservative youth activist and influencer, was shot and killed while addressing students at a university in Utah. The shocking incident unfolded in front of a large audience and immediately sent waves of panic through the crowd. Witnesses captured scenes of students and attendees fleeing in fear as the chaos erupted. According to Utah Valley University officials, Kirk was struck in the neck by a single, precise bullet. He succumbed to his injuries at the scene. The 30-year-old activist had long been considered one of the most visible allies of former President Donald Trump, often serving as a vocal figure in conservative student movements and online political debates. Authorities quickly launched a statewide manhunt after the shooting. The FBI and local police confirmed that one individual had been detained for questioning shortly after the attack. But this person was later released following hours of interrogation. Law enforcement officials suggested that the released detainee may have provided investigators with leads or information relevant to identifying the true perpetrator. Reports from eyewitnesses described a man dressed in dark clothing fleeing the area immediately after the gunshot. Investigators later determined that the fatal shot had been fired from an estimated distance of 200 yards. Experts noted that such a shot, which struck Kirk directly in the neck, required a high degree of skill. This raised the possibility that the shooter had received specialized training, perhaps from a military or paramilitary background. Law enforcement insiders indicated that shooters of such proficiency often operate within tight networks, making it likely that someone in their circle could provide crucial information about their identity. In response to the tragedy, former President Donald Trump delivered remarks from the Oval Office. He described the killing as a consequence of what he called the radical left, accusing his opponents of years of dangerous rhetoric. Trump argued that conservatives like Kirk had been repeatedly demonized, likened to Nazis, and compared to mass murderers, a form of vilification that he said directly contributed to acts of political violence. He urged Americans to recognize the dangers of such rhetoric and called for an end to what he characterized as the cultural climate of hate. Journalist Jason Campidonia, news director at NBC News Radio and iHeartMedia, explained in an interview that authorities were going with everything they had to track down the suspect. While officials withheld many details, Campidonia pointed out that the level of precision in the shooting suggested extensive planning and training. He also noted that the investigation was focusing on connections and networks that might eventually reveal the identity of the killer. The incident also reignited debates about security for public figures who do not enjoy the protection afforded to high-ranking government officials. Charlie Kirk had built his career by engaging directly with college students in open settings. His events typically involved setting up a table or canopy on campuses, inviting dialogue, and confronting opposing viewpoints. At the Utah event, approximately 1,000 people gathered, creating a festival-like atmosphere. Despite the turnout, Kirk's security consisted of only 6 personal guards and local campus police. Video footage taken shortly before the shooting revealed only a small number of men surrounding his table, tasked primarily with keeping the crowd at bay. Analysts noted that the arrangements fell short of the kind of robust security measures often deployed for high-profile political figures, leaving him exposed to potential threats. For the conservative movement, Charlie Kirk represented far more than just another activist. He was considered the leading voice of the younger generation of right-wing voters, particularly those active on social media platforms like TikTok and Instagram. His influence was so significant that even political rivals recognized it. California Governor Gavin Newsom, a Democrat, once invited Kirk to appear on his podcast, openly acknowledging that Kirk was managing to sway young voters toward conservatism in ways that traditional Republican voices had failed to do. Kirk's approach set him apart from other conservative commentators. Rather than shouting down opponents or rigidly sticking to party talking points, he often invited debate. He would listen to students who disagreed with him before challenging their views. sometimes bluntly explaining why he believed they were mistaken. While this style won him criticism from liberal students who accused him of promoting divisive ideas, it also won him admiration for fostering open dialogue. For supporters of former President Trump, Kirk embodied the energy and future of the conservative movement. His death left a vacuum in the conservative youth movement and fueled concerns about the growing polarization of American political life. To his supporters, the attack was not only a personal tragedy, but also a symbolic act of political violence. To his critics, it raised difficult questions about the risks associated with increasingly hostile rhetoric and confrontations across the political spectrum. Law enforcement agencies continued their search for the gunman, following leads and piecing together clues. The image of a skilled sniper dressed in dark clothing and vanishing into the night became a symbol of the lingering threat. Authorities emphasized that the investigation was far from over and that every possible connection was being pursued. As the nation processed the shocking event, the debate surrounding free speech, political polarization, and the safety of public figures grew more urgent. Charlie Kirk's career had been built on engaging with these very issues, and his sudden, violent death ensured that his legacy would remain intertwined with them.